Whoa, I can't hear you, Clay. Anybody hear me? All right.
How about this? Can you hear
There
me
you go. Got you, buddy.
now? You'd think after this many years and 113 episodes, I'd have this down.
Are you new or what?
FNG. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the FNG. Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Obviously, I'm not Deacons. Clay and I, we planned a special edition, right, Clay? But all three of our guests fell through, so
Yeah,
we're
and Mike's wanted a little time off, and we're giving him that time. So
yeah.
okay, we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see we're live. Hey, we are live on X. I guess got to get the right name. X.
Perfect. That's right.
And I'm telling you guys, it's a really clear. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're doing good, and I do like X because it is so clear over there. It really is.
Not only that, like we said, Elon gives $32 million a month to DJT.
That's right. That's right. Eric Newman says rookies. Yes, we are.
Hey, Eric, I can't remember what were you looking for 117 grain 25-06 or 25 caliber Game Kings? I can't remember what we were messaging about the other day because I did see some today. If that's what you were looking for, let me know in the comments here, buddy.
Hey, Rumble, glad to have you on. I just checked over there, the Rumble channel. People are chiming in over there a little bit. They're starting to come on board. So we are up and running, and I have not checked out CommieTube, so don't really care.
Yeah. Well, Clay, why don't you everybody know what we got on tap here tonight?
Well, I think we got a pretty good show tonight. We are going to do the debate review from last night's debate, which you guys might be surprised what Jamie and I have to say.
Pretty much the Second Amendment part of the debate, right, Clay? I mean, we might get into a few other things.
But yeah, we'll get to that here. Then we're going to do the Florida deputy who accidentally shot your girlfriend because you were cleaning your guns and dry firing. Oh my goodness. Really? All right. Antelope we'll talk about that. That opens up here. I believe that opens up at noon Central on Friday. Or did they change that? I guess I really don't know.
Which one, Clay?
Antelope season, North Dakota.
Yeah, noon on Friday. You bet. And
11 o'clock Mountain Time. So we will be out there. Me and the boys each have a tag, and I'm looking forward to getting out there and zeroing in on a few antelopes. So.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have. So I just checked out the little herd. They're staying on the place here, so that's good. So if you ask to hunt, no, because we'll be out there.
Okay, awesome. Well, Eric said, yeah, it's a 25 cal. Yeah, it's Evening Down Brown. Yeah. It was a 20. It was 117 grain Game Kings, Eric, and there was this pile of them at Man Down Sporting Goods.
There we go. And I'm going to talk about what the boys are going to be using for guns. We kind of
love that. And I'm looking forward to it.
We if we have a little time, we're going to sneak in the badass of the week. We did not do it last week because we just kind of went down a lot of different rabbit holes with Scott and Jake. I thought it was a great show. If you look at the views, it was a really good show. Everybody loved it. The sound, I think the podcast downloads are up there pretty good too.
Awesome. Yeah, and then after that, Clay, we're going to finish up with the double your pleasure happy ending. Clay's got one and I got one.
And they end perfectly, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Mine even took a little longer for the happy ending to get there, which you'll find out. I mean, it's a short story, but it's the kind I like. So, all right, Clay.
Keep this baby rocking and rolling like I always do, and that's with our Second Amendment. And I think that's the most important amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And hey, Governor Walz has nothing to do with hunting. Nothing.
Yeah. Hold on, let me write that down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're supposed to stare intently at me, too, and then write something down and then never look at it again.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, in case you missed it last night, I mean, it was an hour and a half, but we're going to focus on, we finally did, right? We finally got some Second Amendment questions other than Trump having to throw a shot at Kamala there on that one.
Yeah, we did. But I got one question. Let's start it out first.
Okay.
Who do you think won the debate?
I think Vance won for sure. I mean, he didn't just totally kick his butt up and down and around, but he won he maintained and had a calm presence. I didn't like, other than the gun stuff too, there was some other answers he said I didn't care for that he could have, but I think it was pretty easily seen that he won.
I think he won. I'm going to say that. Did he have this big landslide victory over Walls? No, he did not.
Mhm.
I'm with you. He came off as the nice guy. He was uh, very nice. I thought he was very well versed. He answered the questions. I thought it was a lot of softball questions. They didn't really get to the nuts and bolts and stuff. And to be fair, he was kind of debating two other people there too.
Yeah.
You could just see the bias in those two twits questioning. They were leading questions, like really. And he didn't back down when he got cornered. I'll give him that. So I do believe he won, but I'm telling you, it was not this landslide victory.
It could have been.
It
It could have been. It could have been for sure. Just
And that-
alone on the guns things we're gonna go
And I'm
over
gonna
here.
go with that. Tell them why, and it has to do. With
Yeah. So the first thing they start off with, right, is
Matthew sign. I gotta put that out there. So Matt says, "Show me a guy who hasn't shot blanks at his girlfriend while polishing his teeth. I'll show you the liar." Nice job, Matt. Nice.
Polishing his piece,
I'm pretty sure we
taking a tarnish off the bullet. So the first question they asked was if of JD Vance, if he thought holding parents responsible for their children's crimes would help curb school shootings. And this is probably the best answer he had, Clay. He said depends on the situation, right? Whether the kid took the gun from them or they outright bought him and gave him one or something to that effect. But it kind of went downhill from there. I don't remember that Walls answered anything on it, but then it kind of went to school security kind of thing there. And right off the bat, Vance says, we don't need our schools to look like a military installation or something to that effect with armed guards all around, which I immediately thought, you know what, if they're carrying concealed, you wouldn't know, and who cares if there is a couple in there, really. These kids are that baited out that they can't see a guard, and know what a guard is standing there with a gun. Who cares if it's in a school?
That was kind of what I thought too. I don't really care if it's in a school, how it looks that way. I think a presence there would deter, honestly, a shooter knowing. And we know this is true because we know that schools with resource officers, and you absolutely know they're armed, most of them. Not all of them, depends on the state you're in and what the school board has decided. But for the most part, they are armed. And when you have that, it is a deterrent. Now, do we want them to look like a military kill zone? No, and I don't know what he was really talking about there, but
he was using leftist language there. I didn't like it. It pissed me off. He did that a few times.
Well, and I was watching this, and I was showing you, I was making my notes. Mm-hmm. He used the liberal term gun violence when they asked about the gun violence. So there's a couple things there. When that question was posed to him, the leading question, because that's what it was from the twit. That's what I called him too. Twit. I got a different name, but I'll
moose twit.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't go down there, but I'm telling you right now, when they asked that question and they said it's the leading cause of child deaths today, the gun violence. No, it is not.
Vance never responded, Clay. What's the correct answer?
No, it's not the leading. Not leading death of children today is not gun violence. Plus, there's no such thing as gun violence. Don't use that terminology. It's gun control, gun infringement, gun confiscation, whatever you want to call it. It's anti-Second Amendment. And that should have been his answer. And he should have flat out told him, you are a liar. This is not true. And we have plenty of information. And he could have even done exactly what he did with the other question where they put up the numbers about the illegals. He could have said, and we can post that tomorrow on all of our social media, because he did do that today. He could have said the exact same thing. Now, I don't know if it's lack of him understanding what's going on, but I mean, he used the term gun violence. I counted 7 times, and I kind of quit counting. Quit using their terminology. Then they're setting the arena. And terminology, words mean everything. It's kind of like we used to call them illegal aliens, because that's what they were. Then it went to...
I mean, you're a racist now, Clay.
Oh, I guess I'm a racist then. Oh, well. But yeah. And then it went to illegal immigrants. No, they're not immigrants. Immigrants come here legally through the system. Then it became, what was one of the terms I heard in between there? Undocumented workers. They're just here for a better life. The undocumented. Okay. And then it turned into migrants. And then first it was illegal migrants. Then it was undocumented migrants. Then it just became migrants. Now it's just migrants. So I guess you just migrate wherever the hell you want. Don't worry about borders. No big deal. Terminology has everything to do with it. Use the correct terminology. Do not use their, meaning the left. Don't ever use their terminology. There's no such thing as gun violence. There's just violence. Violence exists. Violence
and I don't expect, Clay, these people, I don't expect just because they're a Republican or a conservative to be into guns and gun stuff like I am. But you can't, when you have softballs in a debate, stuff you should know, right? And not don't use their terminology, number one.
Right.
But there's plenty of stuff you should know. Number one, really, if you take the leading cause of death among kids, that's because the CDC goes all the way up to 20-year-olds now. And if you go down to who are actual kids under 18, right, 17 and under, the gun deaths, Clay, they go down to number 3, the number 3 thing that actually kills actual children, right? Right. It goes down to number 3, and they keep saying it's number 1. There's no freaking way J.D. Vance shouldn't know this shit.
In fact, I expect Walls to not know it, or if he does know about it,
he doesn't know.
There's just gun violence. He should know the numbers, J.D. Vance. He's on the team of 2A, okay? He's with Trump. He's on the team of 2A, and he doesn't seem like he knows that. Just like he let Walls get by. This was a perfect opportunity when they asked the gun issue. Well, I'm a hunter. I have a gun. I have my shotgun. I used to take I don't care about your shotgun and hunting. J.D. bought right into it, too. No, the Second Amendment is not about hunting. Never has been, never will be, never should be. That is, and then when they talk about how we can just find common ground. No, we can't. I can never find common ground with a person that wants to abolish my 2A rights, and I don't care what infringement. No, I'm not going to let you take this gun away. No, I'm not going to let you take. No, I'm not going to do it. I feel that the NFA is an infringement on my rights. I feel the 1968 Gun Control Act is an infringement on my rights, and I truly do believe that. And that's why the NRA formed ILA, and we went into that. I'm not going to go into that tonight, but that was formed after the 68 Gun Control Act because they weren't going to take it anymore. And I don't care what Gumshoe thinks. He's wrong on that issue too. But yeah, you're going to get me all wound up. But here's the way you answer this. The Second Amendment is not open to debate. It's not open to common ground. It's not open to interpretation. And it's not open to compromise because my rights are not compromisable. I'm not going to give you permission to compromise my God-given rights, not granted to me by the government, but enshrined and recognized that they are God-given in our Constitution. That's your answer to that. It's a simple answer. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and what he did, what he didn't say, Clay, is ask Walls if he thought arming, was Walls never really said much about it. If he thinks having armed teachers and staff would stop it, because that's what stopped the guy in Appalachia. Like you said the school resource officer, but there was 1 or 2 in the school. That's not enough. Obviously, it's not enough, right? This bozo could have came in the front door and the janitor was over there sweeping, and he sees this guy. He could come in with his gun. He could have ended it right there with no casualties, other than the piece of shit who wanted to kill a bunch of people in the school. But he didn't ask him that either.
He didn't
ask him that either. Walz's answer to stopping gun violence in schools, gun violence, is banning guns. Right?
Assault weapons ban. He mentioned that kind of under his breath. They didn't really go into it. But
what he said is, it's sometimes it's the guns. It's the guns. He said that. No, it's never the gun.
It's never the gun.
If I was Vance, should have said, tell you what, I was in the military, you were, and you had a full automatic rifle. If you let it sit there, did the gun ever just take off and start killing people? No, it didn't, because it wasn't ever the gun. It's never the gun.
And he could have really went after him about the military thing because Vance really served, and of course, as we know,
Right.
Walls didn't really. I mean, he was in there, but he didn't serve in the capacity he said he did. So, but I tell you what, let's get to a few of these comments.
Yeah, go for it.
In. Right, Dan said hi. We appreciate you tuning in there. So Eric started off with Walls is a smooth talker and said what you want to hear to get votes, even if it wasn't true. Yeah, I mean that's what he is.
Yep.
And then she chimed in. She says, first he answered the question, then explained his answer. Elmer Fudd just dodged. I love that.
Elmer Walls.
There's no such thing as gun violence. Exactly what we just said. There is no such. There's just violence. Okay. There's violent acts, but it's not. There's no such thing as gun violence because guns can't create it.
Yep.
Eric Newman, but Walls is a hunter. He has a shotgun. Yes, he has a shotgun. He must be 2A.
And a deer rifle.
And a deer rifle. Jeannie said, did you guys see where a female athlete competed the Appalachian Trail in 40 days? She averaged 55-ish miles a day for 2,100 miles. The immigrants, no, they're not immigrants, Gene. The illegals coming all the way across Mexico must be superhuman. I guess technically they might not be illegals if they're in Mexico yet. I don't know if they broke the laws in Mexico. But
yeah.
And hey, Josh is what's up, fellas? Late to the show.
What's up, Josh?
You're missing I'm all wound up about the
So Clay,
it bothered me though.
Let's go to this one where he does say that, right? You said you mentioned that he said, "I'm a hunter. I own guns." And once again, he said, "You can still keep your guns, but in the same breath, Clay, he said it doesn't make sense to have some of these weapons out there." Yeah, there you go.
Guys, there's Walls friends with school shooters because
if you don't know what that is, he said he's made friends with a couple with multiple school shooters, right? Not plural with school shooters. Tim, well, I've become friends with school shooters.
So someone made this. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. So okay, right there, Clay. This is the biggest whiff, in my opinion, that JD Vance did. You can once again claiming you can still keep your guns. I mean, immediately in my head, in my low IQ, right wing knuckle dragon, gun nutted brain, ask them then why do you guys want to always ban assault weapons, and why does your running mate for the woman who wants to be president want to force buyback of guns? So don't tell me I can keep my guns.
That's right.
You're full of shit.
He could have pounced right on that, and he did.
Wow, JD, that just means Kamala just means like AR-15s. No, because she actually has supported, and it's on and it's documented now. She supported a freaking handgun ban in San Francisco.
Yes, she did, and she's made numerous comments about buybacks, semi-autos. She wants them all.
Mandatory buybacks, Clay. It's mandatory, not your choice.
And it means it's mandatory confiscation. It's not my choice, and you can't buy back something from me that's not for sale. And you never owned. So yeah. Brian says, "Sorry, MVs traveling tonight. Have to catch the rerun. No problem, Brian. It'll be uploaded right after the show, and you can enjoy it tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Actually, you can even enjoy it tonight if you're still on the road.
Yeah.
Walls is a snake, designed to smooth over and look like common sense guy to take away from the scariness of Kamala, nothing more. You're right. Walls was picked because he's dumber than Harris. Well, Biden or Obama, he picked Biden. He was dumber than Obama. Biden picked Kamala. She was dumber than Biden. Kamala picked Walls, and he is dumber than her. So it's just a progressive chart of stupidity. And you're right. He's an everyday. They try to sell him as this rural, everyday guy. He's just out there hunting, and he's just out there, fishing. And
he said, "Hey man, I used to be part of the NRA." Well, what made you change it? Well, when the Parkland parents came into his office. Well, again, JD Vance should have said, "You guys want to put a law into where you can only have 10-round magazines. Did you happen to tell the Parkland folks that?" The shithead down there used 10-round magazines in his AR-15. I bet you didn't. You know why? Because you didn't even frickin' know, Walls. You frickin' airhead.
Walls is just there collecting a check. He travels to China quite often. I mean,
unfortunately, it works for him.
Yeah, and he made the comment that while he was in China and seeing all these things, even though he wasn't at Tiananmen Square, But he still made the comment, and I picked up on that it was good to be over there to see how governance works. Really?
Yeah, he learned a lot over there, man.
You learn a lot about governing. Oh, so you are communist. Okay, gotcha. Perfect. You admitted it. While Minneapolis burned, that little thing when Black Lives Matter went through it and burned. I mean, I was out in Minnesota in that area this year, particularly because I was down there, at a hospital where my sister-in-law was at for a few weeks. I'm telling you, it hasn't recovered yet. It looks like hell. Ask Todd Mitchell. He's been down there, and you want to get Todd fired up. That's his home turf. And they did. They destroyed this place, and not a lot of it hasn't recovered. Windows are boarded up. Buildings are abandoned. It looks like a third world country in parts of that area now. It's really kind of disgraceful because when I worked out in the Twin Cities area back in '94 and '95 during the summers, I used to go down there and enjoy some of the concerts and things, in that particular area, and it was a nice area. It ain't nice anymore.
No. Nope, just like all Democrat shithole cities down.
Pretty
So
much.
Doug's got a comment here. What shooter did his kid meet eyes with, or is it just another story that he made up? What Doug is referencing there is Walls claimed his kid was at a outdoor volleyball game or something, and he witnessed somebody getting shot, which Doug, if you saw that today, AWR Hawkins had it. He said there's absolutely zero proof people are trying to find that his kid even witnesses. So it's another freaking made-up bullshit story.
Just like all of them. How many times has Biden done it? Well, I talked to a guy today. Or I
drove semi for 2 years. What? You don't even know how to drive a car, Joe.
Yeah, you imagine him. He couldn't pass the physical. They have a CDL.
Yeah, G said he misspoke about being in Tiananmen Square. Yeah. Just because you're in the same country doesn't mean you were in one of the big key world events there. Tampon Timmy. So,
I mean, they didn't highlight on any of that stuff that Tim did, that Walls did in Minnesota as governor. And let's not forget, Walls was in Congress, by the way. He was a congressman briefly. So,
for 12 years he was, I guess. That's
So he does have some knowledge of what happens at the federal government, and he has some responsibility. I'd have called that out. I'd have been like, hey, Mr. Governor, now you and I both have served in Congress. I haven't been there near as long as you, and I've accomplished more. Why on earth do you act like you know nothing about any of this because you were there? For how many terms? 6 terms. Oh, because you're just a do-nothing Democrat like the rest of you.
Well, what I want to do, Clay, is when we have Kelly on next week, I want him, not that he needs anything else on his plate, kind of like yourself, but he even's got more stuff on his plate than you got. But I want Kelly, well, you're wondering I'm talking about, our future governor, Kelly Armstrong, is going to be a guest. Me and Clay are going to have him on next Wednesday. Special edition 2. But anyway, I want him, because if you've never seen Kelly Armstrong on the floor of the House talking gun rights, Second Amendment, and gun laws, that guy's, if he's not the best guy in the House of Representatives, United States House of Representatives, to defend your Second Amendment and guns in general, I don't know who is. If maybe somebody's on par with him, but that guy's awesome. He needs to start his own thing for these Republicans when they do debates to coach these people up on how the hell you answer questions. Like I said, whether they're a big gun person or not, you need to be able to answer these questions, because Trump's not a big gun guy, but he's still a good defender of our Second Amendment rights. You don't have to be like me and Clay and a bunch of people who listen and do shooting videos and shit, but you got to know you got to have your pillars in there, man.
The biggest thing for any politician that's running, that believes in this country, they better know what the Second Amendment actually means. It's not tough. Second Amendment is about our right to keep and bear arms, and it's to protect us from tyranny. It truly is. It gives us the tools that when we see that something's went majorly wrong, it gives us just another tool to restore our constitutional republic. And that was its intent. That was its entire intent, because they never wanted to see what happened to them when they came over here and watch what the king did to them. I imagine our founders today would, if we could meet them, they'd probably say, how come you guys haven't been fighting like 20 years, 50 years ago?
They would.
Yeah, they would, and I'm pretty sure I'd be right there with them. Yes, let's go, George, go.
Let's keep buying big old. Hey, man, I tell you what, George, I work in a den lab. Let's get you some good teeth before we go to battle here.
Some more wooden ones. We'll get you the good stuff.
All right, Clay, should we get our first break here?
Yep, we're going to take our first break, and being this is a special episode of Guns and 701 and 701 Nation, we'll use both stuff. So here we go.
Perfect.
That's a war face. Now let me see your war face. You don't scare me.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Discover the world of firearms at Bismarck's Double H Gun Shop. With a wide range of products from handguns to rifles, we cater to all your shooting needs. We are your local gun experts. Not only do we sell firearms, reloading supplies, targets, and whatever your heart desires, but we also have a ton of knowledge and answers.
We shoot, we hunt, we compete, we reload.
It's been the Howard's way since 1976, and we ain't fixing to change anything. Visit our website at hhgunshop.com to browse our inventory. Double H Gun Shop, Bismarck's best new and used firearm reloading supply, gunsmithing, and sporting goods store. Double H Guns.
Double H Guns.
1021 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Call 701-223-4888.
And we're back.
We're back, and hey, you just saw the commercial I just picked up last week. Yeah, I know I had nothing better to do after I had surgery, so went down to Double H, purchased myself a couple new rifles, and everybody listening, and then more is going to find out in the pretty near future what they were.
Well, I mean, you won that big raffle with some money.
Yeah, that Motor Days, I won $500,
and I know
and I sold another rifle.
And I bought a scope from you, so yeah, hey, 2 guns.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I got another Hondo coming there. Yeah.
Damn, huh?
Nice. Plus, then one of them I took to Bloodline. had to get it threaded, and that's I'm going back. I'm going back to the future. It's a caliber I had, so I'm getting that not only Cerakoted, the stock, but it's getting threaded as well. So go ahead and I saw you put that up there from Gene. Clay, go ahead.
Yeah, Gene, he chimed in here. He says the battles of Lexington and Concord were because the British Army was on its way to confiscate the armories and weapons. Absolutely. They don't teach that in history anymore. Maybe that's where the founders got the idea of the Second Amendment.
Part of it, for sure.
That had a big play in it because they understood
Yeah.
what it meant to not be armed. I mean, we are defenseless. Every country that's fallen. Let's look at Germany. One of the first things that they did there was, guess what? Confiscated the guns, especially from the Jews.
Yeah, everybody that wasn't on their team.
What's that?
Everybody wasn't on their team.
No, not everybody was on their team. So I'm telling you, when you look at countries, that's usually the first thing when they start taking over and become dictatorships. That's one of the things they do. Eric puts in there, hey, great. This is a good shout out for Lauer Auto Repair. Since I can't support much of your sponsors because of being south of the border and buying guns pretty much. But your sponsor, Axe, is been helping me with my rig. So thumbs up to your sponsors. Hey, thanks, Eric. We appreciate
Awesome.
it. And when you do go in there, let them know you heard it here. Let them know you're listening and that you appreciate it.
Well, Eric, as your friend, I'm going to help you out with them Game Kings. So
there you go. There you go.
We'll see you at the Steel Challenge. So Clay, right? Well, I'll finish up. I want to say one more thing. Obviously, Clay and I aren't anti JD Vance, but when we're going to have an election this close and something, and man, you can't let something slip here. When you got a chance to punch somebody on the jaw and take them out, we got to have that, man. We got to have that. I'm feeling good about our chances of winning here. I'm not real good, but
I probably feel better about it than you do. Mainly because I watch some different stuff. I'm not talking news. Some other things that I'm in.
Oh, my cousin Dave's down there in Georgia. Yeah, were you and Vance was saying that we were texting about the chemical plant down there.
So did you notice that's two of them now? There's one in Texas too before that. We saw this last election cycle, huh? I don't know. There's no conspiracies, but there's no.
I mean, it's just like not real quick. It's not just like the dock workers thing or whatever. Man, I always feel like the Democrats are angling on something because they're just such crooked bastards. I mean, it's always like like they're planning shit here.
Oh,
it's hard for me now.
Yeah, it's too coincidental, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gene, he says WW2, there was a drive to get arms of all kinds for England.
Mm-hmm.
The German invasion. Now the British government has banned those guns.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
they were using any piece of shit gun they could get their hands on. It was kind of like when Ukraine went to war and we started sending everything over.
Oh, at least
when AR-15 finally became a weapon of war.
I knew that was coming. So thank you for that. I'm proud to say now that joins the ranks of so many more of my weapons of war.
Finally, the AR-15 is on par with the musket and the lever action as a weapon of war, Clay.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here's another great weapon of war, the 1911. And if you know about this, we gotta be careful what we say. But hey, just throw a 20 and we can get you set up. You know all about it. So
that looks way better in person. I have actually laid eyes on it. That's sweet.
Gun. It really is. I picked it up on Friday or Thursday.
Well, if anybody's listening in Zap, speaking of the Zap Motor Days of my widow, I'm probably going to be up there with my dad Saturday night. So if anybody's from there is listening or hears it on the podcast, hit me up. Maybe you can get yourself that. So. All right, Clay, let's move on to the, what was it again? Gun cleaning, and it just went off, right?
Yeah, I've used that excuse. Just went off. Don't know what happened. Anyway, yeah, so you know what? This isn't the first time I've had a story like this from Florida.
No, I've heard this many times.
And so this is down in Florida. It's around they call the Highlands. I actually know where that's at.
There's highlands in Florida?
There's a place called the Highlands. It's an area. This is in all of Florida. He's a Florida deputy with the sheriff's office. He has been charged with manslaughter now after he shot and killed his 25-year-old girlfriend.
Jesus.
Also, since this has been an update, he's also since been fired. Claims the shooting was an accident. Well, I don't doubt it was an accident by definition. I do
Right.
think the charge of manslaughter is probably appropriate unless they find evidence otherwise. She's 25 years old. He's 32. What I found interesting is I went over to England to find a story. They had a lot more information. Imagine that, huh?
Really?
Yeah. More detailed
You
information.
bloody Yanks and you bloody Thundersticks.
You know, I'm not gonna kid you guys. I do tune into the BBC once in a while, and the Daily, what's it called? The Daily Mail, I think is what this one is. Yeah, and that actually, the Daily Mail originates out of the United Kingdom. So
We're gonna win this bloody Peterson back over yet.
So what happened was, officers responded to a home in Highlands area around 11 o'clock. This was last Thursday. From they got a call from the Marion County Sheriff's Deputy Leslie Dale Ballou. I think that's how you. There you go. Nice coaster there, by the way. If we ever have a grand opening at Mandan Sporting Goods, we thought we'd use those. But anyway,
It's good. Yeah.
Boyaloo, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. He told 911 operators that he accidentally shot his girlfriend, 25-year-old Paulina Wright. Officers found the victim dead with a gunshot wound to the forehead. This was her. That was him and her. You know, just normal.
Mm-hmm.
I
I didn't know he was a forehead shot even yet, but go on.
Yeah, he was, and he was cleaning a rifle. But anyway, he allegedly admitted that the couple drank margaritas at Los Magus. I think that's how you pronounce that. Mexican
Sounds about
restaurant.
right.
Before going home to clean his firearms, a handgun, and a rifle. Now, I don't know about you, Jamie, but when I go out to eat with my wife, not my girlfriends anymore, but I'm sure that the first thought through your head when you take your wife out is not to go home and clean not those guns anyway. I mean,
Give me just the old single shot. Yeah. Give me another margarita, make it a double. I got some guns to clean.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't get this that you would even. What was the purpose? But
So
anyway,
it was actually a rifle that this happened with, huh? Okay.
Yeah, and
did it say it the dreaded AR-15?
It was not. It sounds like it was a bolt action.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
Even worse. Probably a weapon of war. Probably 30-06 Springfield.
It is a weapon. Bolt actions are weapons of war. 100% it was.
So here's what he told officers, though. He told the officers when they arrived that he was clean, that him and his girlfriend were cleaning and dry firing the weapons. Now, I'm trying to picture this. Can you put this in your mind, everybody? Here's a couple out that one's 25, one's 32. They're out on a date. They're out, whatever, having fun, drinking some margaritas. Hey, let's go home and clean our guns and dry fire them. Sounds great, right? Isn't that just a great way to
something's sounding fishy to me here, really, Clay.
That's exactly what I thought, too. According to the arrest report, and when the officers arrived, he told them, he goes, I know this looks really bad. He also reportedly said that he knew pointing a rifle at Wright was the wrong thing to do since he works in law enforcement. So he admits he was pointing a rifle at her, dry firing it supposedly. I mean, does this sound accidental to you?
No.
Officers say that the physical evidence at the scene, it does Anyway, it actually says what it says.
You can clean some guns later?
Yeah. And it affirms the accounts that the suspect told. So he basically told them all exactly what happened. To me, it sounds odd. I mean, if I was an investigator.
I mean, you wouldn't admit directly something's just.
And then there was residents, they're telling the news story, or telling news reporters that all these factors should be considered because he was a decorated officer. He'd won awards. He was respected within his precinct. He was hired in 2016. I didn't get that from any of the U.S. news, but I got that from the over the pond news.
Limey? No, there's a Limey's English, or is that Australian?
I don't know. I don't do very good either. But and then here's what I found interesting. I looked for a mugshot.
Mm-hmm.
Mugshots, I found out, of law enforcement officers are exempt from all public records in Florida. Now, why is that? Seriously. I mean, aren't we all equal in that? If we
should be.
So, then you flip over here to the Daily Mail from the UK. they had a few more things, though. They had reported, which this did not, and nothing did. It said on Saturday morning, Boileau faced a judge wearing his yellow jumpsuit and handcuffs around his wrists. So, that's pretty detailed.
Can't do that to mine. That hurt.
Yeah, you're in trouble. Circuit Judge Stacy Yeoman told his attorney, Jimmy Sparrow, that she found probable cause for the arrest. And then, of course, Sparrow, the attorney, he started to argue that his client's bail should be set at $25,000 based on his record and his,
No, you shot somebody in the freaking head, man. I don't care what you did.
The assistant state's attorney, he said, no, I would like to see nothing less than $50,000.
I was thinking like $1 million.
Well, yeah, because he had concern for the community if he was released. Yeomans, the judge, set bail at $30,000, adding that if he does post bond, he cannot have any weapons or guns and zero contact with Wright's family, which was his girlfriend's family. Now, another thing with him is he studied criminal justice at the College of Central Florida. He was hired by the Marion County Sheriff's Office in June of 2016. During that time, he worked in the patrol. He became a field training officer. So I did a little looking at that. He was training other officers at this time, which...
So when you want to dry fire, boys, point it at your girlfriend.
Yeah.
God, it's
he
really
was promoted to the rank of corporal. He received 2 Eagle Eye Awards. I don't know what them were, for his assistance with investigating and apprehending suspects in multiple burglaries. And his supervisors also thought of him as trustworthy and a proactive employee. So, I mean, I don't think he has any issues, which makes it even
sounds
worse.
like the guy couldn't handle his liquor worth of shit.
Yeah, either he was drunk or there's other motives. And I guess they'll investigate and hopefully find out.
So, I mean, if they're dry firing, the only thing let's just say it was an accident. If it's clean and then you're going to run your bolt, right, obviously you brought it back instead of just cocking it up and down. I mean, right. He had to have forgot, or whether it was a detachable magazine or whatever. I don't know. Even if it's an internal magazine, he forgot that he had one in there and chambered one. And then, I mean,
either way, it's bad. So if he forgot he had one in there and he cleaned the gun, that's bad in itself.
Just pointing it at somebody's head and doing it. You don't even know the freaking BB gun.
Yeah. I mean, what were we all taught in our hunter safety classes? Never point a gun at a person, right? You treat it as only pointed at the things you intend to shoot or kill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You never pointed at anybody. You always keep it down. You treat every gun as if it's loaded. I mean, this was drilled to us. And by the way, I didn't take my hunter safety till I was 20, 21 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that before I got the hunter safety from my relatives.
Right. So. And I've drilled that into my kids' heads that you never, ever point your gun at anybody unless you intend to shoot it.
Yep.
Shoot them in self-defense, obviously. Otherwise, you don't do it. And they're really good about that. So, I don't know. How drunk was he? Because, I mean, a couple margaritas. I've had a couple margaritas, and I'm not so... I don't know. I wouldn't go home after that night and say, I'm going to clean my guns and dry fire them.
You know what? I mean, I've cleaned my guns and enjoyed a beer or whatever doing it, but I didn't just go out drinking and then come home. And so what we got to do, Clay? Who do you think the most popular country singer is right now? Maybe Al Dean or...
I really.
So what they got to do, here's my advice to one of them. You guys you country singers want to contribute to gun safety, right? Bring back that Johnny Cash song when he was dry firing his brother and he had one in the chamber and killed him by accident. Yeah. Right? Don't do that shit.
Don't do that. I mean, we know what happened, right? I mean, it's that simple. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that you and your girlfriend are out, or your wife, you're out, having a few drinks, just probably a date night. Let's go home and clean guns. Okay, fine. I can even accept that. But to dry fire them, pointing them at each other?
Let's dry fire and pointing at each other. I mean, were they playing some twisted Russian roulette shit or what?
I was gonna say, let's play strip roulette. I mean, or something. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some of these comments. Gene Cox, he says, I watch Sky News Australia sometimes. They have a segment called Lefties Losing It. Now I want to watch.
That must be a long segment.
Multiple series episodes. Eric says, when I clean my guns, there's nothing in the gun. And if it's a bolt action, the bolt is out, so it's impossible to shoot. Exactly. When I clean my bolt actions, I'm just like Eric. It's in my vise now. I bought a nice vise for doing this, for cleaning them. The bolt comes out. I take everything out of it. If it's got a detachable mag, it comes out. I double check, and I make damn sure there's nothing in there. Because even downstairs here, where generally no one's going to be coming down, I still don't want to shoot through my wall or into my basement wall and deafen myself. I'm deaf enough as it is. But yeah, it's 101 safety. Josh Patterson says, I've been drilling that into my kids' heads since they got their first 22s at a very young age. Never point a gun at everyone. Same here. I'm sure we've all done it. And you know what? None of our kids have ever had an issue. Now, I do worry about some of the friends my boys bring home, and I'm very cautious. I won't let them go out and shoot on their own. Braden, I'm okay with, and Braden and Leighton do, but Braden now has been here long enough and with us long enough as far as doing things. He knows the rules, and he's very good about it. That's who was with us up there that day.
Yep, yeah. I was going to say he was in full control of his firearm there. So
Eric Newman, you took it from my dad, and he is 100% drilling and safety in fact, your dad, Eric, is the guy that introduced me to hunting and shooting. I always tell everybody I'm the example of taking kids shooting and hunting because I never done it till I was 16 years of age. And nothing against my dad. We did try it once there, but just dad didn't like to hunt. And Eric, Ryan's dad, they took me out, and Dell, I think he thought I was a little bit crazy at first, but we're okay now.
Yeah. Well, not all the stories we tell on here are happy endings, Clay. So
no, not all of them. And
don't worry, we got a few coming, but
we got a double header.
So, what do you think here, Clay? Should we hit our ad and then come back and do the badass, and then?
I think so. So yeah, we'll do the 701 quad. So this will be a little longer ad again. Go ahead and hit the head or refill your drink, and we'll be right back after thanking our sponsors.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger, to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
Yeah, hey, look, I got the moves like Michael, the flow like Aubrey, walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in, know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink cop my stilo, head to the top, bottom line is a motto.
And we're back. And before you jump on my case, I know that's Arnold, and I know he's not a friend of the Second Amendment.
I was just thinking that, Clay.
Blame Mike. He made that.
Hey, X is hey, we got 17 on here. Plus, I seen X. We had some good viewers on X. Thanks, X. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man.
8 total with both Rumble channels. There's 5 on one.
So yeah, like
comments here that I want to get to.
Yeah, go for it, Clayton.
I gotta laugh because when we were talking about that, David, he's over there on Rumble. Says, it's my gun and my cleaner. I'll clean it how I want. and I know who this is. Hey, Matt, good to have you chiming in there. There's an instructor at the trap club who checks your sight pattern by having you open the breech. Then he pulls the barrel up to his eye and looks straight down the business end. Drives me nuts. Wow, that's got to be right there at Bismarck too. I imagine that's Capital City. That's not exact. I wouldn't do that.
I'm feeling uncomfortable just reading that.
Yeah, wow, it'd drive me nuts too. So, unfortunately, they're everywhere, aren't they? And I want to put this out there too. Just because that was about a deputy sheriff, or sheriff's deputy, most officers are not like that. I guess I had a couple people text me and they're like, "Oh, what are you picking on cops again?" I said, "No, we're not." I said,
Clay actually told me that, and I said, "I think that's a good story just to talk about general safety with it. It had nothing to do with."
And that's basically what we talked about was general safety. This is not, and you know what? You're probably right. I imagine, and I know in that story they talked about how that could be a black eye on law enforcement officers. It is not. Most law enforcement people I've met are very, very conscious of the safety of their firearms. So
most of them would see that and be like, "What the hell is this guy's problem?"
They'd be like, "What a dumbass!"
Yeah,
just like you do. And I don't care if you're a cop or if you're a waiter, or if you're bank, if you're doing stuff like that, dry firing your gun, whether you're drinking or not, just cleaning your guns and dry firing them and pointing them in the direction of a
dry firing them is bad enough, Clay, but you're pointing at each other's heads and doing it. I mean, that's what I said. I mean, these two, they must have been like some weird Russian roulette shit, or
I don't know.
I have no clue what it is, but yeah.
Hey, we even got a Twitch listener high over there on Twitch. Last time we had I had to go hunt him down.
Hopefully it's not maybe it is an anti. Maybe we'll flip you over here.
Hey, you know what? I'll put this out here right now. If you're an anti, you go to the front of the line. I'll try to call you, and we'll put you on here because I know I can figure that out. Because I got no qualms about talking with an anti. Don't worry, you can't get mad and go cry in your corner because we're going to be honest with you.
Right. I'm going to get you guys banned.
Yeah. Well, you might on CommieTube and Fascist Book, but all the other outlets, we're good. And I thank everybody for being over there on Twitter or X, because that seems to be where everybody's landing in on our world as far as the conservative side of stuff. And I can tell you what, I've put some stuff on there and nothing's been banned. So
yeah. So I saw the video again. I'll mention this. I know when a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, I was on with you. When was that I was on last time? Maybe 3 weeks ago, but Mountain Sporting, because we got to get in there and do a new video, because that was Brandon's old shop. The new place is freaking awesome over there, man. He's got it looking good, more room. So that's 206 4th Avenue Northwest of Mandan, 2 blocks north of Runnings there.
And we got to get him to do his grand opening because we got things planned for that. Come on.
Yeah. We want to get that. I said 10% off, and he said 10%. Hell, we'll go higher than that if you're going to drive over here. So I'm thinking, okay, like 20. So yeah, we'll give you guys a heads up when it's going, and then get your cash ready. And
I can't remember, but I believe the 25th or 26th of October is the NRA banquet, right? Coming up.
25th, I think it's a Friday.
Friday, yeah. Okay, that'd be a Friday. That's going to be up at the Baymont. And the reason I bring that up is that Jamie and I might just set up shop Friday.
We should put a poll up for that, Clay, when we do a live and see what the.
Tell you what, put it up on Fascist Book. You
can
do that, can't you now?
Yeah, I think I can do that on X too. So
I can do it on X. We're going to put a poll on there that says, should we do a live broadcast from the lobby of the Friends of NRA event and visit with the people attending?
But why the lobby, Clay?
Well, I understand that the rep didn't want us in there last time. So
yeah,
but
we were going to be in there. We were going to be right at the door, right?
We were going to be right in there and welcoming people, giving them a lot of press, really. I can tell you this, though. I'm probably going to buy a ticket, being my brother and sister-in-law run it. So then I can go in there anyway.
Yeah. Well, my boss, I'm pretty sure he's buying a table, and I'll probably have a ticket. But if I don't, you know what? I'll be more than happy to give him. I think it's 40. Is it 40 or 45 this year?
I think it's 45, which makes sense. I know what meals cost. I mean, we were starting to do 30 and 40 when I was a rep, so hasn't went up a whole lot, really. But I'll tell you what, I still think it's a good organization. I still support
the best, man.
And I'm sad to see that they only do a handful. I'm talking 2 or 3 maybe in North Dakota and maybe 1 in South anymore. I don't even know. It's kind of sad what happened to that after I retired. But hey, don't hire government employees, and you might have a successful Doug's gonna be there. All right, Doug.
Yeah. Did you get a table, Dougie, or did you just get get some tickets? 'Cause I know I sent Bob down there to talk to you. He was.
Well, if you got a table, Doug, I'd buy in on that with you. So I'll split it with you, but let me know. Because I'm planning to be there regardless.
Well, we know one guy, Dougie. Before you come there, if Clay and I do this, go ahead and have a few cold ones at home so we can get you pretty talkative there at the door.
I have an extra camera, so we can have some fun with that.
Perfect.
But anyway.
Perfect.
So, I'll tell you what, we did not get to the Badass of the Week. We're up at the top of the hour. I think this will work out pretty good. So we're going to do the Badass of the Week that we had scheduled for last week when I had Scott and Jake on. It's about an 11-minute segment. Deacons does a great job. So I encourage everybody to stick around, listen to it, and enjoy it because it is pretty good. So here's our Badass of the Week.
Well, everybody, welcome back to gunsona701.com and our weekly Badass of the Week. Every week, we make sure that history is remembered by pulling one of those lost stories out of history about someone's badassery so we can continue the oral tradition. This week on our Badass of the Week, we got the adventures of a little guy named Peter Freuchen. Once upon a time in the icy realms of Greenland, there lived a man named Peter Freuchen, standing a towering 6 foot 7 inches tall, with a beard that could rival a polar bear's fur. Peter was no ordinary explorer. He was a Danish Arctic explorer, anthropologist, author, and even a bit of a Hollywood star. But his life was anything but ordinary. Now, Peter's adventures began when he joined an expedition to Greenland in early 1900s. He quickly fell in love with the harsh, frozen landscape and the Inuit people who called it home. He learned their language, adopted their customs, and even married an Inuit woman named Navarna. Together, they braved the Arctic's unforgiving climate, hunting seals, building igloos, writing your name in the snow. You know, typical things. One winter, in the Arctic tundra, a vast expanse of white, where the wind howled like a pack of wolves and the temperature was so cold it could freeze the whiskers off a walrus. In the midst of the frozen wilderness, Peter Freuchen, the Danish explorer, with a beard as wild as his adventures, found himself in a bit of a pickle. Peter had been out on an expedition, documenting the habits of polar bears, or some such noble pursuit, when a sudden blizzard hit. Seeking shelter, he stumbled upon an ice cave. It looked like a good idea at the time, a cozy little nook to wait out the storm. But as the snow piled up outside, Peter realized he was trapped. The entrance was completely blocked by a wall of ice and snow. Now, most people would panic in a situation like this, but not Peter. He was a man of action, a man who had once wrestled a walrus just to see if he could. So he did what any sensible person would do. He took stock of his supplies. Unfortunately, all he had was a bit of seal meat, a flask of whiskey, and his trusty knife. Not exactly the survivalist dream kit. Days upon days passed, and Peter's situation grew more dire. The cave was getting colder. His food supplies were dwindling, but Peter, ever the optimist, decided to make the best of it. He built a little snowman, for company, and named it Olaf.
Is there a Disney copyright thing here? I think I've heard this story in some aspect before. Just let it go, I guess. Anyway.
He even gave Olaf a backstory, a tragic tale of lost love and adventures on the high seas. It was all very dramatic. One particularly frigid night, as Peter huddled in his fur coat, an idea struck him. It was a crazy idea, but desperate times called for desperate measures. He remembered a trick that he had learned from the Inuit, the art of making a chisel from frozen feces. Yeah, I said that right. Yeah. Peter, with a twinkle in his eye and a grimace on his face, set about his task, making a poop chisel. That's right. After a few days of careful crafting, Peter had his chisel. It wasn't pretty, and it certainly didn't smell great, but it was his ticket to freedom. He began chipping away at the ice, slowly but surely making progress. All the while, he kept up the running commentary for Olaf's benefit, complete with dramatic pauses and exaggerated gestures. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Peter broke through the last layer of ice. He emerged from the cave, blinking in the bright Arctic sunlight, looking like a wild man who had just escaped from a particularly chilly version of Alcatraz. He took a deep breath of fresh, cold air and let out a triumphant roar. That's the best roar I could do. Sorry. Now, Peter made his way back to camp, where his fellow explorers greeted him with a mix of astonishment and amusement. When they asked him how he managed to escape, Peter simply grinned and said, "Let's just say that it was a crappy situation, but I made the best of it." So Peter Freuchen added another incredible tale to his repertoire, one that would be told and retold around campfires for years to come. His escape from the ice cave was a testament to his ingenuity, his indomitable spirit, and his ability to find humor even in the most dire of circumstances. Now, later in the midst of World War II, Peter Freuchen, the towering Danish explorer with a heart as big as his stature, found himself in a dire predicament. Captured by the Gestapo for his involvement in the Danish resistance, Peter was thrown into a German prison. But if the Nazis thought they could contain this Arctic adventurer, they were sorely mistaken. Peter's cell was a cold, damp room with a single barred window that offered a view of the bleak gray courtyard. The guards, thinking they had captured just another resistance fighter, had no idea that they were dealing with a man who had once escaped an ice cave using a chisel made from his own frozen feces. Peter, however, knew that brute strength alone would not get him out of this one. He needed a plan and a bit of his trademark humor to keep his spirits high. One evening, as the guards were making their rounds, Peter noticed that one of them had a particular habit of whistling a jaunty tune. Peter, ever the keen observer, realized that the guard's routine was as predictable as the Arctic tides. He began to hatch a plan that was as audacious as it was ingenious. Peter started by befriending the guard, engaging him in conversation about music, and even teaching him a few Danish folk songs. The guard, flattered by the attention and the novelty of learning a new language, began to let his guard down. Now Peter, booming with laughter and infectious personality at all times, made him a favorite among the prison staff, who started to see him less as a prisoner and more of an eccentric uncle. One night, Peter put his plan into action. He had fashioned a makeshift key from a piece of... No, you thought I was going to say poop, didn't you? No, metal that he found in the prison courtyard. Timing his move perfectly with the guard's whistling routine, Peter managed to unlock his cell and slip out into the corridor. But instead of making a mad dash for freedom, he did something unexpected. He walked straight into the guard's room and sat down at his desk. When the guard returned, he was startled to find Peter sitting there, casually reading a book.
What are you doing here?
The guard exclaimed. Peter, without missing a beat, replied, I got bored in my cell and thought I'd come for a chat. You know, it's quite lonely in there. The guard, bewildered but amused, couldn't help but laugh. Peter's audacity and charm had disarmed him completely. Literally. Taking advantage of the guard's momentary distraction, Peter swiftly knocked him out with a well-placed punch to the head. He then donned the guard's uniform, complete with a hat that was slightly too small for his enormous head. He strolled out of the prison as if he owned the place. Now, as he walked through the gates, Peter couldn't resist one last act of defiance. Now, he turned to the remaining guards, who were too busy playing cards to notice anything amiss, and shouted in perfect German, I'll be back for my things later. The guards, thinking it was just another one of the jokes that the guards made, waved him off in a chuckle. Now, Peter made his way back to the Danish resistance, where his escape became the stuff of legends. His friends couldn't believe the audacity of his plan, and Peter, with a twinkle in his eye, simply said, Sometimes all you need is a bit of charm and a lot of luck. Peter's life was a series of incredible adventures, each more unbelievable than the last. He wrote numerous books about his experiences, sharing his love of the Arctic and its people with the world. He even made a brief foray into Hollywood, where he won an Academy Award for Best Original Story for a film named Eskimo. Now, despite his larger-than-life persona, Peter remained humble and deeply connected to the natural world. He often said that the Arctic had taught him the true meaning of resilience and the importance of laughter in the face of adversity. So the next time you find yourself in a tough spot, remember the story of Peter Freuchen. Whether you're trapped in an ice cave or facing an insurmountable challenge, a little ingenuity and a good sense of humor can go a long way. And who knows, you might just carve your way to freedom with a smile on your face and a poop chisel in your hand. Peter Freuchen, a Danish 6'7" total badass. Sources for this story were Wikipedia.org, allthat'sinteresting.com, books.google.com, and historydefined.net. Hey, if you liked our Badass of the Week from GunsInThe701.com, don't forget you can check out our back catalog of stories of other badasses. We've got that for you at GunsInThe701.com. On our back catalog, you can also check out our Wednesday show for GunsInThe701.com. We got the back catalog there as well. And our buddy Jamie's got 701 Nation. Our sister show is there as well with the back catalog. As always, if you've got a badass that you want us to talk about, well, I'd love to hear from you. All you got to do is drop us a line, and you can do that at Mike@GunsInThe701.com. That's Mike@GunsInThe701.com. See that QR code up there? Well, you can click on that and donate a little cash. A couple of dollars, a fin, a 10 spot, a 20, whatever you got that you can spare, we'd love to have it. We need to keep up our equipment. We've got recording time we've got to do. We've also got subscriptions that we've got to update because that's the way of the world nowadays. All the computer programs are subscription-based. So it always helps us out to have a little cash on hand. Also, don't forget to check out GunsInThe701.com. We've got our store on there where you can get merch. We've got all kinds of merch coming in left and right. Also, you can check out what we've got going on our upcoming shows. And I'll tell you what, it's just nice to see you on there. Well, until next week when we get another badass in history to talk about, right here on GunsInThe701.com. Don't forget, as my friend Clay always says, keep your powder dry and stay safe, you bunch of badasses.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. I tell you what, I thought that was a great
That was a good one, man. Nice done. Nicely done, Mike. Better than nice. That was awesome. And I liked all the stuff he puts in there too.
Well, when I watched it last week, when we were going to use it, I watched it beforehand. Can you imagine making a chisel out of your poop?
Wouldn't even think that would work.
And then the Nazis, they couldn't even keep him.
He punched him out with one blow, man. It's nice to see our man Chuck Heston in there too. Even from Planet of the Apes laughing.
I like Doug. He says, "What the shit?"
Yeah, I know Dougie watched some Walking Dead. It reminded me of Negan when I seen that. What the shit?
Hey, I will put this out here. Josh Patterson, he chimed in. He says, little off topic, but if you're bored Saturday night, my boy will be running his first demolition derby in Mandan. I think it's not Saturday night, 1 p.m. Central Time at Dakota Speedway. Again, 1 p.m. Central Time at Dakota Speedway. You guys can get out there and cheer him on. He will be number 5X.
Right on.
Very good. Sounds like a great time. I cannot make it up there, I know for sure. We actually got company coming over.
I'll be on my way to the ranch in Golden Valley at that time. But if you want to cheer for somebody you know who's pro Second Amendment, cheer for 5X in the Derby, baby.
Especially them. I mean, yeah, Josh, is that the son that was out there shooting?
Yeah.
Great. Sounds great.
Yeah, and the guy who even in the high wind, damn near put it in the orange on that deer at 400 yards.
If you want some entertainment, everybody, go hit that up on the YouTube channel and look at the comments. They've been quite entertaining.
Yeah, deer rifle steal challenge is what it's called.
None of us know what we're doing by someone.
Yeah, the comments are pretty entertaining too.
They know. I love that. They know nothing of what we did, right? They know that we were shooting, and we were shooting at 400 yards. Even though we talked about the wind, you actually have a wind meter out there. I
even put it on a screen what the wind was, Clay.
I mean, I can tell you this. I thought it did pretty good. I mean, I showed up, grabbed my 270 out, uncased it, went over there, and I made a kill shot. I just didn't hit the little red part. And
which a lot of them even said, hey man, I know you guys missed and you admitted it, but they said it was still a great video. They loved it, and it did it's having a lot of likes and a lot of views, and we got more of the Steel Challenge videos coming. So you want to get some of these.
Best advice I ever got: don't suck. Oh no, I thought it was pretty good. So. And I think that brings us to we should do our double header, huh?
Yeah, double your pleasure, happy endings, Clay.
But before we do that, we should take one more break and thank our sponsors, and come back.
Absolutely.
With our double happy ending, double the pleasure. And from there,
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
The video game, you sick bastard.
Yeah, sick bastard, right? All right. Let's thank our two biggest sponsors, and we'll be right back with double your pleasure, just for James.
Sounds perfect.
I'm from the Athlete's Foot Foundation.
Brother, hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constant constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
And we are back. So, I got to slip this in. Gene says 400 yards is a long way, and the wind is the great equalizer. I said, yes, for sure, Gene, for sure.
Yeah.
We had
So
16 mile an hour gusts out there, and who knows what it really was when you're shooting out that far, the way it goes into that little area.
So we got a lot of viewers, Clay. I want to, in case they don't know what we're talking about, we called it the Deer Rifle Steel Challenge, and we had a full-size deer gong out at our buddy. So I'm going to come and ask one of our sponsors, Lauer Auto Repair, put with a punch out in the middle of the deer, about where the heart is, but it was a 11 or 10-inch gong, and we painted a 5-inch orange circle in there, and you had to hit that, not from the shooting bench. You had to either prone out or use a tripod or whatever you wanted to do there. But, yeah, you got one shot, no warm-up, and we had winds were anywhere from 14 to 19.5 or something. Not directly across from us, right? Kind of in the face and in the crossways. But, yeah, and it's a 400 yards, one shot. And, yeah, the wind was a real bitch to most of us.
It really was. It really was.
Yeah, so if you can check that out, yeah, it's on. Couldn't get it. I was having internet problems the day I loaded it up. It's not on Rumble, which most of our videos are going to be, but you can check it out on YouTube there. CommieTube, as Clay calls it.
Over there.
Damn near. Yeah. Hey, we only need 9 more views to get to 5,000. You haven't seen it, check it out. And you can or check it out on Facebook as well. But YouTube's where it's really doing well. And we got other ones planned for that. We have the next one coming up planned for the weekend, 19th to the 20th. We're going to do it, called the Prairie Dog Steel Challenge with your varmint rifle. And Axe wanted to go 400, Clay, and I said, you know what? The way the wind blows out there all the time, let's keep it at 3. That is a small target. I mean, it's about target. Like this, right? It's just like a little bigger than this 20-ounce bottle at 300 yards. And if the wind's with no wind, right? I mean, that's
no wind,
doable for sure. I mean, I'm fairly confident with some wind, which it always is out at the rock range or even down at the wheat range there behind the house.
I'm bringing 2 rifles for that. I mean, I'm bringing the Swift and the 6.5.
Well, so what Doug and I are going to do, Clay, we were talking, we're going to put he's got more than one prairie dog. We're going to put 1 to 3 and 4. And before somebody shoots, you're going to say, how confident are you feeling?
There you go.
Right, because there's not going to be a redemption round this time like there was in the other one. You got one shot, and this is going to be your, shoot your shot, like the kids say nowadays.
I think to prove our confidence, need to stick a little greenbacks in a hat.
Oh, for sure. We got to do that pre-hand. And then after that, I would say it's probably going to be after deer season at some time. We're going to do the coyote challenge, and we got a small coyote, and we got a normal size. We got like a coyote puppish size and a full-size coyote, and we're going to do that probably at 4 and 500. And then during the winter, we're going to do the offhand, and we got like the shoulder silhouette like this. You got the orange right here, JD. We'll do the orange on that. We get it in that. We might have a little cash in the hat for that, Clay, right?
Oh yeah, I think it'd be kind of.
That's going to be offhand, standing, one shot for that, and we're talking right. We started maybe even doing 2A day during the winter sometime. So
I think that'd be a good idea too. And I know that if we do a 2A day in the winter, I think we'd even have some special guests show up for that, but we're not going to give that away. So.
Right. So stay tuned. And on top of that, we're going to have all kinds of other videos in between, gun reviews, short deer season's coming up. Clay's got antelope season. Now there's going to be from now until end of December, there's going to be a lot of great videos coming out here.
My weekends are just jam-packed. And next weekend, I'll be coming up to your place.
Yeah, Clay's coming up I'm hoping this baby's feeling good enough to where I can run a shotty. I mean, that 410's pretty low on the recoil. I think it's almost like a 22. So
I guess I could bring my judge along. You could use that.
No, I got that. I'm gonna use that double barrel of Wyatt's, but yeah, we got the new camera. I told Clay I got our new camera figured out. Thing takes super clear video. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have some good videos. And
I got to read this latest comment on here.
Go for it.
This not queer, Q Safarius commented. Dirty Harry said, "Man's got to know his limitations." Good to see some honest shooters find their limitations. That win makes mortals of us all. I love that comment. So,
absolutely, yeah. See, that was one of the comments where the guy actually got it, man. Somebody who probably does actually shoots a lot instead of just tells everybody on social media what a goddamn sniper they are, right?
right. I mean, we were out there doing it. We're having fun, and I think the more you do that, the more fun it is, and the better you get. And I was using my old Leupold Berry X2, just a standard crosshair 3-9.
Yeah.
Because yes, full-size deer target at 400 yards looks a little small.
Yeah, you had a hell of a shot, man. I think you or Josh's son were probably, without measuring, one of you guys were in second place there, but we had one guy there,
he punched
Wyatt, I think he knocked the damn gong off and he wrecked it. Axe had to bust a welder out, so yeah.
We'll have that, right? All righty. Well, I'll tell you what, let's get, I think we need to get on to our, we call it happy ending.
Yeah.
Thug Slug. I do like that one. So yeah, I mean, I love this segment. We've started it on Mitchell in the Morning. A lot of times Todd lets me get it on there. So tune in for that too. So why don't you go first?
All right, Clay. So like I said, normally we got one, but we're doing double your pleasure. We're just going double dragon happy ending here. If somebody doesn't know what a double dragon is, yeah. All right, Clay. So I'll go with mine.
Yeah,
I'm going first here. So around 7:40 a.m. Thursday, Las Vegas, a homeowner shot an intruder who had ignored commands to get away from the house. Right, snooping around somebody's freaking house. What do you expect somebody to say? Right, they don't know who the hell you are. Hey, get away from my house, you freaking scumbag! What are you doing? Trying to peek in? You know.
Where'd you say this took place at?
Vegas, Las Vegas. KLAS, what's that?
Crap.
KLAS reported police received a 911 call saying a home was being broken into in the 6400 block of Placer Drive. During the call, 911 dispatchers heard the beautiful sound of a gunshot, Clayton.
Nice ad.
The homeowner, a man in his 20s, said he had shot some piece of shit, looked like he was in his 30s or 40s, after he refused commands to leave and move the hell away from the doorway. KTNV noted that the intruder broke the glass of the front door before the homeowner shot. Responding officers found the piece of shit in the driveway, suffering from a gunshot wound. He was transported to a hospital where, fortunately, he died and did humanity a favor.
That's funny.
Yeah, love it. Hey, right, Clay, you don't want to get shot. I always got to do this now at the end. If you don't want to get shot, don't freaking go walking around like a derelict in somebody's yard, right? When they tell you to leave, leave. Don't stay there. Don't go up and break their freaking glass in on the front door, because guess what? You're going to end up getting your shit ventilated. The police are going to take you to the hospital, and like this piece of turd here that maybe we could have turned into a chisel to escape from an ice castle.
Yeah. He need a shirt. He got with a shirt.
He didn't make it, man. All you had to do was leave the guy's freaking yard, and you'd still freaking be alive, dude.
Where did you say yours in Vegas? Okay, I have one from Vegas too. But
yeah, Lost Wages, man. Las Vegas. Where, by the way, Clay, we are going to take Vegas with DJT and another Senate seat, baby.
I think we are. But mine comes from the neighborhood of West Harmon, but I think it's the same article. I really do. Okay,
let's hear it, man.
I'm not going to do this one because I happen to have a few on hand.
Because guess what, Clay? Defensive gun uses are in the hundreds of thousands and in some cases millions per year, right? So it's that easy to find another one.
And I have found so many. I've found different sites that actually that's what they do. So mine now comes rather than from Las Vegas, which that was great. And I thought it was great too. So this one is a New Jersey homeowner shoots and kills a hammer welding intruder. How about that?
Love it.
Well, that one. So that was on, and it took place a few months ago. It was in Trenton, New Jersey. A homeowner, he was forced to defend his residence and his life from an intruder who was swinging a hammer around. I mean, you know what? That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Anyway, the incident occurred about 10:25 in the p.m., so really not that late. It ended in a fatal shooting of a piece of crap named Andre Ingram, a 35-year-old POS, by the homeowner who was a hero and took his life.
Love it.
Been released by authorities. Yeah, I added a little something to that.
Hey, Clay.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't freaking try to break into people's houses, right? And you won't end up with your ass dead.
And you won't end up at room temperature. It's that simple. Anyway,
Because what are you supposed? Hey, Clay, you know what somebody's saying? Oh, Jesus Christ! How do you know he didn't just want to come in and take your TV or something? Doesn't matter. How do you know he didn't want to come in there and pick up a freaking knife, or he had a rock in his pocket and smash your goddamn skull? And why are we supposed to wait before we get our shit attacked? Because you get knocked out. Well, just like Deacon's story, punch a German guy out, right? They can sucker punch you and knock you out, and then stomp your head into a freaking mud hole, and you're dead because you didn't shoot him right away.
And thanks to the legislature in South Dakota a few years ago, and thanks to the legislature last session in North Dakota, guess what?
701, baby.
And we were right there. We both testified, thanks to Jeff Magrum.
That's right, we did. We did.
And
Marty Beard was there as well.
Marty was there, and that legislation passed. So we do not have a duty to retreat any longer in the state of North Dakota.
Bob Wheeler was there, formerly
Bob.
of Pig City.
Yep. And Leon was Leon there? I don't know if Leon
was
there.
No, not Leon. What the heck was his name? Taller guy. He's not around here no more. Raheem Williams.
Raheem was there. Yep. And Raheem's a great guy. So anyway, we got that passed, and now we can also defend our property and ourselves and make these people
as you should.
Room temperature. And that leads me to that bear thing with Scott, but that might be a whole nother subject. I thought about this long and hard. Anyway, so here's the thing: is in New Jersey, they don't exactly have gun-friendly laws around there, right?
Yeah.
The Trenton police officers that responded, they transported the guy right to Capitol Health Medical Center, where
to the meat locker.
Yep, pronounced dead on arrival, and hey, right here. There we go.
There you go, Clay.
And he
Love it.
Room temperature for trying to invade a homeowner's dwelling and basically threaten them. Now, here's what the thing is with this. So in New Jersey, it's going to question, what are the rights of homeowners in that state? What's the measure an individual can take? What are they permitted to do there? It also, it's a reality, though, isn't it? That citizens face threats. They face threats of home invasion. They face threats on their property.
More than any celebrity or politician other than Trump.
Yeah, and they need to be able to, defend themselves. New Jersey, though, is not a stand your ground state, and the duty to retreat falls.
Run out the back door.
Yeah, run out the back door. So I don't know what's going to happen. So far, I was kind of looking for some stuff on this when I actually found this article. I can't see where any charges were pressed yet, but it still says even after this took place in March, end of March, beginning of April this year, it's still under investigation, but no charges as of date yet have been filed. So maybe nothing's going to happen.
Oh, they probably found out the dude liked a Trump tweet on X or something. Keep investigating him. Keep investigating him.
Or either that, he's sitting in a J6 gulag. But I just thought, you know what? I know this one. I think it's funny. You and I picked the same story from two different sources.
We might be preparing the gulags after November, a date in November there.
I won't.
Let's get to some of these comments here. Go back to Axis, Clay.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking about for you and me. The gulags.
Yeah. Let me just a second here. I got to find them here. You should have just grabbed them.
Huh? Here, I'll get. You want me to go back up here on these babies here? All right. So I was talking about the coyote challenge. Dave said Axis Range is a special place. The landscape is one of a kind. The wind will never be a straight line, which is true. And I talked to Dave the other day. I mean, that shit, if it's coming out of the northwest, it's coming off one of the highest points in Morton County, and it drops down on you. And if it comes from the south, it's going uphill, and then it comes down. You're getting the downdraft on your bullet. And, I mean, when Axe and I would go out to this gong, I mean, there was almost no wind at the bottom. It was different wind speed at the target from where we were shooting from, and which, realistic challenge. I mean, like I said, some of these guys who said we sucked, I mean, I would love to just be able to Captain Kirk transport them right there. And
yeah. You know what though? I love it though, because it's real life situation, and you're going to face that when you're out hunting.
Yeah, that's why I think, you know what, Clay? I think that's why a lot of people said something, but they liked the video because they said, yeah, you guys are at least honest. And because we didn't edit shit, man.
Nope.
Right? I mean, if we missed, we missed. And I mean, I put some sound effects in it, even for myself when I blew one. Or shit like that, you know.
I thought it was a great video.
Yeah. So Josh Patterson says, I'm ready to bomb my shop. My boy will do better than me again. Well, we'll see, Josh. We'll see. I mean, get that 7mm weight out to the range. Check it out here. Eric says, I went 5 for 5 on prairie dogs on my way home from work today. All about 200 yards and God's cartridge. God bless you, Eric. If nobody knows what God's cartridge is, that's a 223 Remington, baby. For sure.
Right
which my baby girl took out her deer at 206 yards with it. Mr. Clayton Peterson's place, one shot. One shot. Right there, baby. That's the same rifle right there, and that's a future gun. Not that exact ammo. The ammo hits in the same spot. That's Hornaday soft point. We use Sierra because it did. I mean, that stuff actually held together fairly good in the gel as well at 200, but not like those Sierras did. So, Sierra, we're looking to get you guys on board with us. So, Dougie says, looks like the 20th October will work better than 19th for me for the next challenge. The 20th is Sunday, 19th. All right, Axe, that's going to work. I'm going to go pheasant hunting that weekend at the ranch next day. I mean, you're welcome to come along, as a matter of fact. And the next day we'll hit the prairie dog challenge. And One Shot Cap, hey buddy, good evening, Patriots. Good evening, One Shot Cap. Cap's a loyal follower of GAT701. Did we get him a cap yet, Clay? One Shot Cap, get a cap. We got to get him one. Eric says,
I still have one of these here at the place.
I know, and I'm slacking. I still haven't ordered any. Man, I got to get on it here because these things are going to go like hotcakes for Christmas. Yeah. One Shot. I'm sorry, but Eric says, ban hammers. Everyone do the government mandatory hammer buyback. Oh, love that one, right? You get that steel going, melted down. We can maybe make some American-made products with the melted. We can make some guns out of the melted down hammers, right?
Absolutely.
Josh, he says, keep me in the loop for the next challenge. I'll bring my boy out again. He's looking forward to the next year. Absolutely, Josh. You are 100% welcome to do that, you and your son. He's bringing the 22-250 for this one, though, Clay.
I'm bringing the Swift, so for sure.
All right. Dave said he can't wait either. I can tell you right now, I'm bringing the for prairie dogs, my number one. I shot it down at Clay's before, but the 223 God's cartridge, actually stag. I think it might even be chambered in 5.56 actually. 24-inch bull stainless steel, AR-15. I mean, America's rifle for sure. And God's cartridge. I'm probably going to be going 55 grain nosslers in that baby too. Got on the orange caps. Axe, I'm working on it. I'm gonna have the orange caps. It might not be it's not going to be for the prairie dog, but for deer season, I tell you what, I'm going to do it because I have had a lot of requests for that, Clay. We're just going to have to go ahead and, speaking of hammers, drop the hammer on those things.
The hammer and then buy them.
Yeah. And then anybody wants them, then make sure you buy them too. Prairie Dog Steel Challenge, October 20th. Axe, you know what? Measure that prairie dog, because I want to make sure when we promo the prairie dog challenge, I'll let everybody know how the exact size. Because I said I know it's a little bigger than this, but
I do like this one that Gene said. He said a sucking chest wound equals nature's way of saying.
Oh, perfect. Right. And then the good news about that, go ahead, Clay, read that one there now.
Yeah, Eric, because I went 5 for 5 on prairie dogs on my way home from work today, all about 200 yards and God's cards.
Yeah, I did get that.
Yep.
Yeah, you're echoing Jamie. So yeah, but the good thing about a sucking chest wound, Clay, is it's like go lay in the yard and wait for the cops because it's all over for you anyways, you piece of shit.
There you go. Perfect.
All right, Clay. So let's do a little. We're coming up hour. Man, I'll tell you what. The second half of the show, I had a lot more fun here. That's because you're drinking, JD. Nah, it ain't because of that. I was kind of uptight about the whole thing with Vance, but I mean we're over that.
Yep, that's history.
Not Vance Bishop, JD Vance.
Well, I tell you what, we can go. I know we did everything already as far as
shit! You know we forgot your doggone antelope stuff here, man.
Let's talk about.
We're going 2 hours, man. Just all right.
We'll quickly do this here. So antelope season opens up this weekend. Myself and my boys both have, or we all three have tags. We do have antelope on the place. I found them again today. I suppose Friday was off. Anyway, so we did a little shooting. We had one of the guns up there. Leighton did some shooting with the 1-243. Found out that I need a scope on it. So after that, we got home and I put him behind the 7mm08. I thought I'd grab the 257 Roberts, which he did shoot, but it's the 7mm08 that he preferred, which I thought was interesting. I think that's a good round. I really do. So he's shooting that 130 grain soft point Sierra is what that's loaded with H414 49 grains. And the reason is that I kept that load for that gun because that was Don's gun. So that he's going to be shooting his grandfather's gun, which is pretty cool in itself, really. And it's got a nice little bigger scope. It's a nice gun. And I just kept that load and it shoots good. We had that out on the range the other day here, and he was punching the 325 like nobody's business once he got that dialed in. And, he shot it, and then it's a little more kick than that 243, but he loves it. So he says, Dad, can I shoot that gun? I said, absolutely. So he's going to use that. Landon's going to be using his 243, which that one's dialed in. That one's doing well. We started out again, and we were punching that 325. We didn't worry about the 500. I think this year, just take the shots and get in that 300-yard range, and you'll be great. And we're shooting 100 grain Hotel soft point, and I load that with 40 grains of Hunter, so it's moving pretty good. It's a good round.
What kind of soft point bullet are you using then?
Sierra.
Game King or just flat base or
no Game King? Yep, Game King.
Money.
And that's what I shoot. I mean, I shoot that in a lot of guns. Now my 270, that's what I shoot in that Sierra. And I'm using a big game powder, which is ram shot 49 grains with 130 grain Sierra soft point. And that's been my bullet in that gun forever. And obviously you saw how there's nothing wrong with that gun.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, Leighton was shooting he shot that 270 pretty good after we were done. We weren't videoing it, but him and Braden were freaking hammering away with that thing on the gong. So
they were. And Eric, and I knew he had one of these. He says, 7mm08 is a tack driver. I bought them for my wife and my daughter and my sister-in-law. Yeah, I've got two 7mm08s. I love them. I don't know. My 270 is my go-to. Remember, I told you that.
Yeah. No,
I know that gun.
270, like I said, me and Clay were talking when I was down there with my daughter. 270, basically like a mini mag, really. But that thing is, that is a devil. The old guys made stuff up, man. They made the 308, the 270, the 30-06. Those things are still, they're great killers, man. And there's no denying that shit. And like a lot of people are, 6.5 Creedmoor. Well, guess what? They had 6.5 the Swedes and the Norwegians, and we're talking Finland. Hey, even Tampon Timmy was talking about Finland there in the debate. But they use a 6.5 bullet, and that's a killer too. But the Creedmoor, just the neck and the powder. It's a far more proficient cartridge with the.
It's a great awesome cartridge, and if I remember right, I believe the 7mm08 is the same. It's the same cartridge as the 243, right?
Yeah, and they're all necked down from one of America's greatest cartridges ever, the 308.
308, the derivative to so many.
Yeah, again, right there, Clay. Again, right? They made another cartridge right there that just works. It's not a throat burner. It's not a dragster, but it's not a snail. You're not dropping an anchor, but it just hammers stuff, man. It works.
Hey, I gotta say something. Now that we're talking some more, we just picked up a whole bunch of people viewing.
I know. I was going to tell you, we might have to start doing live streams at 9 instead of 8. It always seems like when we're getting done here, and I appreciate you guys jumping on. Don't get me wrong, but it does seem like the last half of the show we start
we're just
rolling in more. But
great. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just, it's the first antelope going to be for Leighton. Leighton's never had the opportunity because the season's been closed down here. Landon's taken one, but Leighton's never been able to take one. So I'm really looking forward to that. And who knows,
Awesome, man.
things go right and they're still there. Well, Friday at 11 o'clock Mountain, noon Central, maybe we'll have one on the ground in about 30 minutes. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Dave said the BET, what were we talking about, comes from a 308 Winchester, not the 30 TC.
Oh, okay.
What's the BET?
Well, the
Dead Wolf Resistance 13, man. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate you. Haven't seen you in a while.
Dave, you're gonna have to define that for me. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know what a BET
is. He's laughing.
The best comes from a 308. Not right. Oh, I agree, Dave. I agree.
It isn't a ballistic coefficient.
Because the 30 TC, I do believe, is where the 6.5 Creedmoor came from, is what Dave's getting at here.
I could be.
Because Dave is yeah, man, it's a horse. To me, it's a horse apiece. Creed has little less recoil. So,
thank you, Axe. We're still trying to refuse the metric system.
Commie shit. Clay, what are you plan on doing with the antelope meat you and the boys get then?
Well, I'm definitely going to take tenderloins out because I don't care. I love antelope. I think it's far superior over deer myself.
How do you prepare those then?
Depends on it. If they're generally not gamey, I've done it several ways.
You got any gray poop on?
No, but I have marinated them. I can tell you what I do with my tenderloins. I really do soak them in milk at least for overnight, and that draws all that blood out of there. And of course, as you know, milk has stuff that breaks down the proteins and it tenderizes it, even though they're tender already. I'll do that with butterfly steaks off of the backstrap too.
When the wife's milking a cow, does she squirt the cats in the face in too? We used to do that shit all the time.
Our cats are fat and sassy. They're damn freeloaders.
Man, that's right out of the udders, man. That's the best.
But then I like to either grill them, and I don't grill them on the grill like a steak. That's just stupid. Dry them out. I do put them, usually
it's like pheasant breast grilled. Yeah. No dice, it ain't chicken.
A lot of times what I do is I'll put them in aluminum foil, and I'll put some of our fresh made butter here at the place. Put that in there.
Oh yeah.
I don't even season them that much. Depends on what I'm in the mood for. A lot of times I don't really even season them because that marinade does enough. And then I simmer them low heat till they're done. And I'm telling you, you can take them out and them are good. Them are good. So if we got 3 sets of tenderloins, that's a good meal right there. The rest of the meat, I will take a few steaks out like that. I enjoy eating antelope meat.
What do you go with it? Some taters, or you go asparagus, or what do you do with it?
Danelle does both. I do like asparagus. Big shot.
Makes your piss stink. It tastes really good, but man, your piss stinks for like a whole 24 hours.
Uses a little Parmesan on it when she's cooking it, so I really like that.
Oh, I love
taters. They're okay. I don't mind taters. I'm not a big tater guy like everybody else, but
I like spinach too, but it didn't work for my sticks, my forearms. I got other things like Clay, man. Clay's got Clay's got the arm wrestling
forearm. But, and no, I didn't try to commit suicide. That was a freaking section.
That was the wrong way to cut, anyways.
Damn thing flew back, and that's some bitch cut.
365 says heat and eat, man. Don't complicate anything. Just heat it up a little bit and get into it.
I mean, I like to try different stuff with it, but I can tell you, pheasant. I do a lot of grilling. I want to try smoking some this year though. So as far as the rest of the antelope, what I take off to make for steaks and tenderloin and things like that, there's not a lot of meat on an antelope. So then the rest I'll probably grind and save it and probably mix it with some probably sausage.
You like any pressure can meat, Clay, or don't you like that?
Yep, can.
I was gonna say, man, I've done that with antelope, and antelope to me is the best freaking canned meat, the potted meat you can have.
That'd be pretty good. My parents still do it. I haven't done any.
Oh man, I love that
with our beef, and it keeps forever. It's good stuff. Yeah.
Gene says, I'll have to look, but can't remember the 356 Winchester and the 358 Winchester. One comes from the 308 and the other the 307.
Okay.
That's definitely a good one for Dave there. Dead Wolf Resistance 13. I like cast iron on a bushcraft fire. Man, that sounds good. That's making my mouth water right there.
Telling you, we converted. I bought the propane stove here last year. She's been wanting one, and then we've converted all of our cooking to cast iron. That's all we use now. And I can tell you this,
awesome.
you get so much more flavor out
I
of
mean,
it.
there's definitely a different flavor with cast iron. I mean, and a better flavor, in my opinion, for sure.
Yep.
Eric says antelope meat's the best next to porcupine antelope. Yeah. Good. Man, Eric, you had a feast up at the place there a couple weeks ago. Me and my buddy John are up there. There was like 7 or 8. We come over the hill at night, and they scattered, and I think we got 3 or 4 of them. But
we just might have to have a little.
We're going on porcupine patrol when you're up, Clay. Believe
know what
it.
I mean? Wild game feed of our own. Just invite a few people, have some fun with that.
Yeah, well, for sure.
I
yeah,
mean,
but when you're up for
really
pheasant season, we're going on porcupine patrol that night.
I'm game, man.
You got that laser on there and all that?
I don't have a laser.
All right, I'll hold the light. You just do your thing.
I just need the one-eyed hound.
Bring a. Oh shit! All right.
On this other subject, I have got when we were talking about to protect your property. Scott mentioned it last week. There's bears in North Dakota, and North Dakota Game and Fish. I called up there just this week to see what they're. And Scott's right. They don't want you to do nothing to them. They give you the same BS. They're just passing through by ass. We know what's happening. I mean, it's even been admitted that they're trapping their.
They said that about mountain lions.
Well, Montana has admitted it. They're taking their problem bears and they're basically turning them loose at the Montana-North Dakota border. And Scott's got it on. He's got the game cams with video and picture. So if they're killing your cows, here's my contention. I went and read the Century Code and what we passed. Mm-hmm. I really do believe that the Century Code that we passed, the revision to it, under essentially your stand your ground, I think what we called it, it actually was more, it actually covered more in my opinion. It allows you to use force to protect yourself or your property from a threat. I mean, that's basically how it's worded. Mm-hmm. Well, isn't a bear a threat to your livestock, which is your property? So I say that the regulation from North Dakota Game and Fish.
Oh, just holler at them and they'll run away.
Yeah, by the actual law. So this could be interesting. I'm going to do more checking because I want a lawyer's opinion.
You know what's interesting, Clay? Next Wednesday, we're having on the future governor who, by chance, is a lawyer.
Happens to be a lawyer. That's why I threw that out.
And so Kelly, if you get wind of this, buff up on your bear laws here, because I don't know anybody in North Dakota who wants freaking bears here, and what can we do about it? So
there's nothing on the books because we don't have bears, and there's no regulation really. The Game and Fish is just declaring that they have domain over it. I disagree. If there's a threat. Mm-hmm.
To
your livestock,
you
have the right to kill it.
Guess who has domain over Game and Fish, Clay?
We know
who's the governor.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to a great show.
Yeah, and Kelly's if anybody listening doesn't know Representative Kelly Armstrong here in North Dakota. More than likely going to be our next governor over Merrill Pee-Pee Corn right there, baby. Right on. If you've seen that, Clay's got the Kelly Armstrong ammo box. You recognize that from a lot of our videos. Kelly's big-time hunter, big-time second. I mean, he's a conservative. I mean,
I keep telling everybody, he is going to be the most pro-Second Amendment governor I bet we're ever going to have.
I mean,
you can disagree with him on anything else you want. I don't care.
I may be one of them turd chisels, but I think he's going to be one of our best governors ever.
I do too. So.
All right, Clay, we got 11 minutes left here. Let's do a little PR here. What do you got coming up Friday morning?
Friday morning, Mitchell in the morning, 8:15 Central, 7:15 in the Mountain Time Zone. I think I'm going to have a couple articles. Of course, I'm going to have, I got to have a happy ending. So I'm going to have one of those.
Two just wasn't enough for Clay, man. He's like Jesse Ventura said in Predator, he's a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
I'm going to be talking. I'm going to send this to Todd, and that'll just give you a hint. We're going to talk about hunters and gun owners not registered to vote and where.
I like that.
It's a huge voting block. They didn't participate in the last election, and we have people actually out there working on it in several different groups. I mean, this one here, this happens to be Women for Guns or something.
Mm-hmm.
Women for Gun Rights. I mean, you got to love these groups that are out there taking up they're taking up the torch and doing it themselves, and that's happening everywhere. So stay tuned. We're going to talk a little bit about that. That might consume the whole show. I imagine I'm gonna slip it to Todd about Walls' debate, so we might go down a rabbit hole there because he don't like Walls.
Quick question for you, Clay. If just 1/3 of gun owners actually voted their gun rights, how many elections would we win?
All of them.
Exactly. You're exactly right, Clayton.
And that's
exactly.
All. It don't even take a third anymore. They
Nope.
just don't vote. So
Nope.
go vote. If you're a hunter and a shooter and you're not voting, you're part of the problem. In fact, you are the problem.
And if you think Trump's not for you, I mean, man, you need to check yourself, man.
Put to you this way: whether you like Trump personally or not is irrelevant. The Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the entire Constitution's on the ballot this year. Kamala Harris is a rabid Marxist anti-gunner. It's that simple. Trump is going to protect the Second Amendment. Is he perfect? No, but he is going to protect it. And I can guarantee you, just seeing the things he did after he got through that whole thing with the bump stock, his pendulum has swung this way to the right.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, he's going to be a pro Second Amendment.
Sort of Kamala's, Clay. She said she's not going to force you to turn him in, though.
Yeah.
Get to a few of these comments, Clay, and then we got 2 more deals here before we run out of time.
Oh, let's see. Antelope meat's the best, and Doug says he prefers it. Dead Wolf Resistance. Okay, I'm at Lake Ashtabula area, East North Dakota, where the mountain lions here, game and fish, are lying to us. Yeah, they always do. They're not here. They're just passing through.
Eric, black bear is like a big raccoon. They're good eating.
They are good eating. Dave says, wasn't black bear under fur bear regulation? I've never seen it under there, but maybe it is. Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, it's a big raccoon.
Dead Wolf Resistance, he gives big old thumbs up, 100% for Armstrong.
Right on, buddy. Right on.
Josh says, great show, fellas. Catch you on the next one. And Dead Wolf Resistance, I will vote, and we appreciate that. Get out and vote.
Sir.
Get out and do it. In case you could be like a Democrat, do it often, but no, let's follow the law. And then, of course, we have a big announcement. Why don't you take that big announcement?
So the first Monday of every month, starting this coming Monday here, Clay and I are going to be on Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell for the whole hour, right, Clay? We're going to Second Amendment, hunting, whatever concerns the outdoors in North Dakota, your gun rights, Second Amendment. Clay and I and Michael are going to be hitting on that. Appreciate Michael for what's it called? Gun Day Monday, baby. That's right.
And yes, you've heard that term, but
and guess what?
You coined that first up there in Bismarck.
Yeah, somebody might say, well, I heard that before, JD. Yeah, you did. You know what? And then I threw the name out for that, and it was used.
We started subbing for it for about 8 weeks, and we're taking it back.
We threw the lasso out there, wrapped the dally around that horn, and I mean, we got her, baby. Clay jumped off. He's going down there, and he's going to get it. We're going to get it with Clay and Michael Bell every Monday, first Monday of the month, Dakota Mornings, Gun Day Monday, Clay, JD, and Michael Bell.
And we got some great topics we're going to be discussing. And who knows? Michael's very interested in the 2A and guns. And I can tell you, we've swung his pendulum, too.
So I got a comment says, what? No Twitter comment. Shit, I don't know. I commented on there and it came through. Clay, let's, we got to hit some of these. I apologize. Let me catch some of these here from Kelsey. Pork fat bat in the grind grill and serve these with a side of sweet potatoes and cabbage. I am way in on that. I am a huge 21 of them there, 21 people. Sorry, Kelsey. I don't know why they're not coming through here.
Only some of them are coming through. We're not
right. Okay. He says black bear on blueberries. Hell yeah. Hobo style. 2A, enough said. Pro 2A, vote Trump. And I can tell you our buddy Kelsey got a lot of freaking sweet 2A gear, 2A 701 gear. I wore his hat last week, actually. Can't wear it next week. Having Kelly on, but we might do it when we're on there with Mike Bell. So awesome, man. I apologize. We're kicking ass here on X. X, I'm sorry if your comments were coming through. Usually they come through right on here. Big time story, but
over here too. We got over here on the Guns and 701 Rumble channel. We got one from Matthew. Says antelope is good for jerky or pepper sticks. Stenchy, gamey speed goats. Well, only if you run them.
I mean, it depends on where you get them, man. The farther west, I agree. I mean, we're running out of time, but I agree. The farther west I've had antelope, the down goes the taste, man.
Ours generally tastes pretty good. It's just like the mule deer taking off our place don't
Yeah.
have that sagey, gamey. They just
Best antelope I've had multiple years. Mercer County. I mean, everything's the best in Mercer County, and pastures are a little rocky, but other than that, yeah. Okay, Clay. Before we're out of time, next Wednesday, who we got coming on with us here? Another special edition.
We have House of Representatives for the great state of North Dakota, Kelly Armstrong, and governor candidate also for the state of North Dakota. And I can tell you right now, he's going to be our next governor. So
yeah, you go barrel
on. He's a huge friend of the show. He loves doing it. He loves to shoot. He loves to hunt. Loves talking it. So we
love North Dakota.
Yes, we love giving him that break from politics, and that's why we do it.
That's awesome. So right on. So real quick before we sign off here, Friday, Mitchell in the morning. Clay's going to be on with Todd. Back on again, 8:15 a.m. Central. Mitchell in the morning. Guns and the 701. This Monday, Dakota Mornings. JD and Clay on with Michael Bell. 10 o'clock hour, 10 a.m. Central Time. And next Wednesday, Clay?
Next Wednesday, right here, Kelly Armstrong. And it's the same time, 7 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Central. By the way, I'll answer this question. No, Mike Deacons has not quit. He just need a little time off, and we said, yeah, no problem. So Mike is not quit. He's still with us, and he'll be joining us again. So don't worry about it. All right, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in. We're getting right up against the clock here again.
We seen you, Axe.
Next, so Axe, thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys down on the range. Everybody, keep your powder dry. Eat some beef. Eat some milk or drink some milk. Get out there and wear some fur. Have a great time doing some hunting and shooting. And don't forget Lauer Auto Repair. Get that vehicle tuned up for you for this next hunt season. Thanks again, everybody. We'll catch you here on Friday, bright and early in the morning, 7:15 a.m. Mountain, 8:15 Central.